Hi, everybody. This is Curt Breneman. I'm the Dean of the School of Science at Rensselaer, and welcome to a Rensselaer Moment of Science. Now, today we're at Albany Airport because we're going to take a flight over the cleanest lake in New York.
Here we are approaching Lake George. We're going to be descending down into this area so that you can get a better look at the most pristine lake in the Adirondacks, and also one where we're doing an awful lot of research in water. The one way we keep that clean is to keep a close eye on the chemistry of the lake, and not only that, but also on the dynamics of the water in the lake. With, for example, Doppler sonars that are planted on the bottom. We have weather stations in collaboration with IBM and the Fund for Lake George and the Jefferson project. And we're keeping a very good look at, for example, the phosphorus levels, the salt levels, chloride levels in the lake, and also which way the sediment gets kicked up, because that actually matters. We're also using it as a test bed for comparing what the differences are in the water chemistry and dynamics between this lake and Skinny Atlas Lake, for example, where we also have a project, and also Chautauqua Lake, where we're just starting some work. So those three lakes are very good examples of different kinds of fresh water quality in New York State. If we were actually watching the Jefferson Project animated video, which actually comes from LiDAR and sonar data of this area, you'd be able to see what the underwater terrain looks like here, coupled with the above-ground terrain as well. And taken together, plus this real-life fly-through of that same terrain, gives you a real appreciation for what this area may have looked like early on when the glaciers first carved it out. As we fly over the northern edges of Lake George, we take a pause here at Hague, and a shout-out to David Darren Jr., whose family was responsible for the initiation of the Darren Freshwater Institute and the project that basically have emanated from there, as well as other philanthropy on and off campus. Now, straight ahead is Dome Island, which is a wildlife sanctuary that's very rarely available. So here we are in the vicinity of Bolton Landing and the beautiful Sagamore. And also equally beautiful and close to that is the Darren Freshwater Institute. You can see that down there with the sort of arrowhead-shaped sandbar, but that's where we've been taking lake water samples for a great long time, and from where the Jefferson project now emanates. It's a headquarters for an over $50 million project that has been studying the lake water chemistry and dynamics in Lake George for over 35 years. The Jefferson project itself kicked off about 7 years ago, and it's an intensive project involving a lot of sensors and computation. One of the things we're lucky about is that Lake George actually is a little bit higher in elevation than Lake Champlain. So that means some of the invasive species that are in Lake Champlain have not been able to naturally make their way into Lake George. It's another thing that the Jefferson project has been watching out for. And so some of the public policy around this area for boat access to the water has been set based upon research results from the Jefferson project.